Do you think Garp would draw people in a fish way like Luffy does?
What's up, Wendy's Profiteers and non-binary Buccaneers? So welcome aboard the most chaotic theory corner of the Grand Line Internet. I'm going to cut that off right now and hopefully never think about anything that just happened over the last 14 minutes ever again. So I'm going to pass it to our lovely, lovely crew to introduce themselves. I'll do me last because that's just the way things go around here. I get to pilot the ship now. We're docked. They don't let me drive. I don't really know why.
You're the only one allowed to drive right now. You're the DM.
We're docked, Molly. We're docked. As far as the video podcast that you'll all eventually see, possibly by now, we're docked. We are docked.
Oh, definitely by now.
For port predictions, we are docked. Okay? We're docked.
We're at port.
Thank you.
Oh.
Al understands the bit. Hey, speaking of Al, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm the Laughborg Al. Hi.
See, it's really difficult to introduce yourselves. Mark, I'm giving you a little bit of a break here by letting people know that it's difficult to do the intros and introduce themselves. Now, Molly, I know you're here, right?
I mean, legally.
Okay, cool. Legally is all I need right now. Can you give yourself a little bit of an introduction?
I can't believe Al set that up to the beginning of the podcast. You saw my mouth open and we're like, what's up, Wenches? We're like, no, not another 15 minutes, please.
Molly will go off, Queen.
No.
No. Definitely no.
Oh my God.
Well, since the captain of the crew, no pirates, Molly D. Simpy kind of whiffed her intro, I'm going to pass it to somebody who definitely knows how to do an intro, and that would be Mark.
I'm the internet's bonesman. That's my name. That's all I got.
What's the bonesman stand for?
The bonesman stands for B.
I feel like Al and I are just holding
I'm
hands
exhausted.
This episode.
Oh, me too.
I'm exhausted. The episode started 2 minutes ago. The podcast started 15.
Thank you.
I'm tired.
I've been rewatching a lot of our history because of making video episodes, which you can watch on youtube.com/Yayo Talk Show. And all of the intros are just bleeding together. And so my brain is kind of mush.
This one's definitely different. Mm-hmm. This one will definitely keep you on your toes. In fact, it'll keep everybody on their toes because has the episode begun? I don't even know anymore.
I'll never tell.
Who's to say?
Hey, yeah. Hey,
who's to say?
Who are you? Who are you?
Who am I? Who am I? You asking who am I?
Yeah.
Who the hell is this?
Well, you're here at my corner.
Who are you?
We're docked at my port. I'm the wild theorist, Kdin Jensen.
There she be.
Yay. There she be.
There she be.
There she be. There she be.
H-E-B.
H-E-B.
So I knew I was going to be. I knew I was going to be tired for this. So I'm allowed to have 3 energy drinks a year because if I have any more than that, I'll die. That's not.
And
true.
all of them are today. Is that what you're trying to tell us?
I got myself a tall boy Red Bull today.
Ooh, tall boy. Well, hello.
It's not going to be enough.
Does that come with taller wings?
You ever get a feeling that? You ever get that looming sense of dread?
No.
Anyway, that's why we're here today to talk about the looming sense of dread.
You ever get that looming sense of dread? Hits record.
Can we talk about One Piece? You want to talk about One Piece? You want to talk about One Piece?
Let's go back to what Al said about Garp. I would love to talk about.
Let's dive into that.
I'm going to put a pin in that.
And keep it over here next to the
What do you want to talk about?
So my wonderful, lovely Chrono Pirates, who I've been traveling with for so very, very long. We're finally in Wano, or as Molly would say, Wano.
Wano.
Wrong, but okay. We love you.
No.
Wrong, but we love you.
Wrongo.
Wrong, but we love you. Okay. Are you okay with that, Molly? Wrong, but we love you.
I mean, whether I like it or not, man, that's not something.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking you right now. Are you okay with that?
Am I okay with talking
Being
about.
wrong but loved.
Oh yeah, whatever. It's
Oh,
fine.
awesome.
That's how I live my
Great.
life.
I mean, whether I like it or not, it's just how life is.
Hashtag mood.
Hashtag Mary. I'm glad we got the sillies out so we could evenly start the podcast and really just
Yeah.
roll right into things and roll into the theories. It's not happening this time. I'm really sorry, everybody.
Set us up. Set us up.
Okay, so we're in Wano for the first time. We're in Wano for the first time because you want me to tell you something? You never know when you're going to go back to somewhere. You never know when you're going to leave and come back. We could get to the One Piece, but then we got to get back, right? You never know. One Piece is half over, maybe. Maybe we got to go all the way back. Maybe the journey is getting back to where you started and the friends along the way.
Let him rest.
You listen, this is his choice. He has extended this a million ways. He did this. We're along for the ride, and it's time for us to figure out what the hell is going on. So, you have all teased many, many times. So there's a lot of stuff that I've predicted over these years that hasn't actually paid off yet. And I can't keep track of it because I'm not allowed in spoiler chat yet. And far be it from me to take notes because I'm not doing that. That's
The
confusing.
only thing we're keeping track of in spoiler chat is my obsession with grandpas.
Molly,
That
we're
is-
keeping track of that in every chat in our Discord.
Well, I'm a thorough historian.
Yeah, Molly's time is leaking into every other.
so
we
so
have.
here's where I'm going to say that eventually, when I'm caught up, we will be going through spoiler chat.
You're gonna
And I
hate
think
it.
that we're going to be doing a stream about that.
We definitely are.
Oh, that's going to be cool. I'm going to be very excited and disappointed about
Well, I might be entirely exposed.
that. Entirely exposed.
No, that'll be my last One Piece secret.
So there's really one thing I want to talk about today, in very, very specifically, very, very specifically.
Can't imagine what.
It's something that I picked up on, and I don't know if any of you picked up on it immediately, but it's something that caught my attention immediately. Which is to say, who's who I hate.
That guy
And I
sucks.
think you all too.
This guy sucks.
Yeah, this guy
Bad
sucks.
energy.
He decided to name drop a god because he's just like, hey, you know who I know? I know about this god.
He's like a youth pastor. Let me tell you about my boy.
Let me tell me about my boy G Wiz. Anyway, so
Have
he
you heard
used
the
to
good
be.
One Piece?
Have you? He used to be CP9. Gross. He was the original guard of the Gomu Gomu no Mi, and he faces off against our newest Straw Hat pirate, Jinbei, who we love and know and is amazing and knows Fishman karate, and he's very daddy.
He is dead. There are no
But he
others.
decides to look directly at Jinbei, and he's just like, "Hey, you ever heard about this sun god?" And you got to get uncomfortably close to the mic with that. You got to.
Well, I thought when you said
Remember
you
the
turned to
sun
Jinbei, I thought you were gonna
god?
say you turned towards camera. I was like,
That's what I
Turns
thought.
towards
I
the-
thought she
yeah.
was going there too.
he spikes the camera and goes, "Everybody pay attention to this because this is important." Okay. So specifically, there's some things going on with Jinbei, who's who, the Gomu Gomu no Mi, this sun god, and the sun god Nika specifically. And what was brought up was the sun pirates in all of that.
Interesting.
And it would the Sun Pirates, for those uninitiated, and I don't know why you'd be here if you were uninitiated because we're in the spoiler section of everything. Spoilers for literally everything. It was created by Fisher Tiger, and basically it was led by Jinbei. After that, I'm sure that there is probably more things along there that I'm kind of missing or was not told about, because that's how One Piece works. I'm given a small amount of information and I just gotta work with it. So So the issue here is we have Jinbei, we have Sun
That's
Pirates.
not an issue.
We have I know that's true. We have Jinbei. Okay. We have Jinbei being told about the Gomu Gomu no Mi and about the sun god Nika, and it's like, hey, wouldn't it be uncomfortable because you're a sun pirate? And it's like, okay. You can't do that and then cut away, Oda. Because then it makes me think about a lot of things.
Hey, Kdin.
Hey, what's up?
What are you thinking about?
Well, I'm thinking about the Gomu Gomu no Mi. And I'm thinking about the Sun Pirates.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about the uncomfortableness that Who's Who mentioned. Is like, wouldn't it be awkward?
That dude's racist.
Yeah, I mean,
Really is. A lot of everyone is not kind to the Fishman people. And Mark, you're allowing this one. Fuck them for being like that.
Yeah.
PG-13. We just get the one.
We get the one.
Still marking it down though.
Yeah, I mean, you should.
Yeah.
You should. You should definitely mark it down. But who the hell is this guy? It's my first question is, who the hell is this guy? Yeah, he was an agent of CP9. Yeah, he was the guard of the Gomu Gomu no Mi. But who the hell are you? Like, oh, I'm Who's Who.
Who's who?
Who's who?
Who's who?
Third base.
And my question is,
Well,
I don't think we know who Who's Who is.
no,
I
and
mean, I
like
don't need to know him to know he's a
I
man.
think my brain just broke.
we got everything that we needed to know about the dude because he told us. Like he's the
Who's he?
He's the quintessential meme of the dude turning to a woman and like mansplaining in her ear, but except it's Jinbei. And that's all we need to know about him, and I'm fine if we never see him again, like we
The
do
thing
with
is,
most
like,
like side characters.
We can't not see him again. We can't not see him again
Please, I don't
because
wanna
he
see him again.
he just yada yada'd something so important. It's like, I'm gonna talk about Luffy's devil fruit, a god, the Sun Pirates, you being uncomfortable, the fact that I was formerly CP9, the fact that Rob Lucci, and I hate that. And then they cut away.
Oh, should we say, sorry, Al, for the sake of just like what chapter you're on?
What chapter am I on? You know more than I do.
Hold on. Sorry, I realized what I did.
Yeah, you set yourself up.
We're in the middle of Wano. We're at 1025.
Cool.
Thank you. I'm gonna go away again.
No, you're back here because I'm asking you who's.
I don't know. Some loser.
I would really like to hope that this fight is literally all like just because this dude is like ex-military, like that's the reason why we have to see him again. No, we didn't have to see the Booger Man. We didn't have to see the Man Baby. Like we
saw the Booger Man for a long time though.
We did. Well, I mean specifically the Booger Man, not the Swamp Man.
Booger Man.
Yeah, exactly. Doflamingo's like main attendant.
The giant key staff.
Yeah, the guy with like the big Wind Waker booger.
Yeah.
Keyblade.
Yeah, Keyblade and
Voiced by Alejandro.
Oh yeah, that's right. Alejandro's the Booger Man.
Yeah, we saw him a lot. What are you talking about?
No, but I mean after he did what he was supposed to do.
Well, okay, but there was a lot to do, and Who's Who has done one thing.
And I think
and he didn't even finish his sentence.
And no offense to Jinbei, but I think because he is fighting Jinbei and not one of the three monsters, my hope is that we're done with him. And once he's going to say what he needs to say, Jinbei's going to punch him in the face or suplex him or something. And then it'll be like, good. That another racist gone. Like that's my hope. I don't want to see him. I don't want to know him. I don't want to talk to him.
What a loser.
What a loser.
Like,
who's he?
I mean, honestly though, he messes his job up so bad at the Marines that he becomes a pirate and he can't even do being a pirate right. Like he has the cushiest job in the world. He literally has a room full of cat trees, and he
He has a
can't defeat
room
one
full
little
of
rebellion.
cat trees.
He does, and love
For his fan club.
Yeah, for his
Full
cats.
of cat trees.
He does. We all saw it.
You saw it.
All saw it.
We all saw it.
I wish I didn't see it.
We
I
don't
was
text, but we were there.
like, yeah.
We don't text, but we were there. I really gotta like make sure that there's a drink limit before we do the theorist corner. This is last call, fam. This is last call.
No, this might work in your favor. No, maybe.
Will it? Are you going to accidentally spoil everything?
I don't know.
I mean, more
Marcus
bevs,
Marcus
it's easier to
immediately
spill
mad.
beans.
I can immediately feel Mark being just like, don't.
No, I'm doing like a face. Like well.
So
I don't know.
Well,
I mean, what do you want me to say
Since
about
we're-
this guy
since-
other
since
than he's just a big? He's just, you know what? You know what? I'm sorry for my language. This dude's just a boner. Like,
yeah, he's a real
what a
sack.
nerd.
He is though. Look at his face. Like I'm not judging people by their looks, but look at
Look at
him,
this
you know
meow
what I
meow
mean?
man.
Like it's justified.
I'm not judging people by his looks, comma, but look at him.
Yeah, I could justify it because as a person, he's just so terrible. He's a garbage human being. So
He
the last-
tattooed his name to his chest.
Ugh,
Yeah, he did.
disgusting.
Like a
Who
business
does
card.
that? That's when
But
you
for
have
pirates.
nobody in your life that's important to you, so you tattoo your own name to your chest. Be like, look at
Yeah.
me.
Who's who? That's me.
Man,
Do you
this
know
guy
who's
so-
who's
this
who is? It's who is in this room right now. Who are
He
you? I'm
says to
who's who.
himself, crying in the mirror.
It's the newest cryptocurrency.
Who am I?
This guy would totally be into crypto.
Absolutely.
This dude sells NFTs.
cat coin.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it.
He's all in on AI. That's what this guy is.
Kane, I don't want to talk about this guy. This guy sucks.
Okay, so let's talk about what he talked about then.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which was.
mean-
3 things in a row. Ready? Gumma Gumma no Mi.
Okay.
All right.
Sun God Nika.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Awkwardness because Jinbei was a sun pirate.
/ racism.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, we've talked about it before, but the Sun Pirates are the Sun Pirates because they basically took a brand that they were all given because they were essentially slave labor and made it their own by changing the symbol to something else.
Yes,
Well,
that is correct.
The beauty of it is that not everybody like Fisher Tiger saved other fishermen, and not everybody was saved on the ship, but the people who helped him were like, we will also take this symbol, which could put us at risk because like
That's correct.
I could have been a slave or I couldn't have been a slave. Like they don't know that, and like nobody knows that. But it's an equalizer. It's the
Gotcha.
one for like it's solidarity, right? Like it's
Uh-huh.
yeah.
I mean, they chose to go through getting branded again to, one, the symbolism of it, and two, to fight back. So
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
So
pretty crazy.
Kinda badass.
This jerk is just like, hey, let me mansplain this whole thing to you. Okay. Maybe you don't know about it, but a little guy called Nika, and like, like
Mhm.
slaves are like so into him. You would know, right? And it's like, you suck so much. Like, it's so many things wrong in that one run-on sentence, my man.
it's true. It's true. So I think that because of the point to point, it might be too obvious. But I've been predicting that the Gomu Gomu no Mi is more than it seems, because Luffy has been basically turning himself into what is essentially Bugs Bunny at every turn. Or it's just like, I shot you, and then Luffy's just like, nah, I dodged it with my amazing ability to dodge it. It's like, you're bleeding.
He's like an older brother at playtime that's like, no, bullets don't work on me.
Exactly. That's what Luffy's kind of evolved into at this point. And it's this is where I liken it to, which is a pun if you follow me on Twitch. I liken it to what we've seen in Dragon Ball Z, where they kind of hype up something that is coming, and they kind of like they talk about it. And for Goku, it's every time they beat the crap out of him, he just gets stronger, because that's just how Saiyans work, everybody. Biologically, if you beat me up once, I will be stronger the next time you fight me, because my body will remember getting my ass handed to me and will know how to not get my ass handed to me in the exact same way. Luffy has basically been just like, I've been reading Dragon Ball, and apparently if I lose, I get stronger. And if I win, I also get stronger. So it doesn't matter, I'm stronger. So he lost to Kaido. And now he's back. Nothing has really changed in between those two things, except for he powered up Haki a little bit, which it really isn't powered up. He just learned how to direct it a little bit better is kind of the way I'm understanding it. I don't know if any of you want to like correct me on that one, but it seems like it's just more like a shield around the shield, but the shield around the shield is invisible.
There's one thing we saw before that wasn't outright pointed out, but it's that frame of Whitebeard and Roger fighting, and their weapons are like near each other, but they don't actually touch. And in between, there's this like sparkling area in the middle. It's like their aura is extending out past their weaponry.
Yeah, and it's what Zoro said when he tried the big slash was he tried putting the Rio into hit, like we're familiar with like infusing your weapons with Haki, but then it's that added thing that we got from Old Man Hyogoro of, oh, we've figured out an additional thing on top of that, so it's like super Haki, which is also what they play in Canada behind closed doors.
I was about to say the exact same thing.
But yeah, I figure like it's an extension of like
they're embodying Gritty.
But Gritty's an American anyway. Disrespect on your count. But I
don't even think I need to be here anymore. You guys can take away from me.
Please, God. But it's one of those things where Luffy doesn't know something because he doesn't listen. He has to experience it and learn it and train, and like he has to figure everything out by himself.
He's a visual
learner. Bless. And so,
which is fine. I mean, that's
seeing
perfect.
Zoro do it, and then, dang, I missed. Where we're at right now, it feels like he's about to come back with like, all right, here comes take two, and we're gonna see how hard he can go this time.
What is it? Is watch one, do one, teach one is the learning practice. He's well past part 2 now.
All right, do one. Yeah,
he did, and now he's I guess he fell and then he got back up, and now he's okay.
But also, like, what better way to train than literally against the strongest person in the world?
I mean, that's how you learn faster. Is it's like you go to the biggest. I mean, that's the playground rule. You find the biggest bully in there, and you pick a fight, and you get your butt kicked. The same thing. Prison, school, the American schooling system, and prison are pretty much the same thing.
They get their bricks from the same factory.
As somebody who is going to be a teacher,
except they feed prisoners, they don't feed kids. Anyway,
that's true.
Oh goddamn!
Woof.
Sorry, what were we talking about?
Social commentary in my One Piece podcast. It's more likely than you'll think because there's social commentary.
Have you read your anarchist propaganda lately?
And they just hand over One Piece Volume 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, it's more or less just like, look, you just got to direct your Haki around the Haki and make double Haki. Like HE double Haki sticks. That's exactly it. You just make the double Haki. And it's just like, what if you put Haki around your Haki? Heard you liked Haki so much, we put Haki on your Haki. And that's it. That's basically what's happening here. So I'm not going to count that as a power up. That's just more Luffy just like, because all he did was just like, what if I, and then he just did.
Yeah, I mean,
Sometimes you just do it.
he's combining things he's learned already into practice. Like,
Exactly.
And this is how martial arts work. Like, mixed martial arts is combining your different martial arts to, outsmart your opponent by using existing techniques. It's kind of the thing.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Anyway.
End of show.
I'm sweating now. I feel like Kdin was looking at me when she said that.
Just leaning closer each time.
He's just going to get slowly
It's true.
closer and closer to Molly. It's true, isn't it, Molly? Molly, you haven't said anything just yet.
I have it. I mean, what's there to say?
A lot, Molly. It's One Piece.
But like, what? Give us a question. Give us something to work off of.
Okay, well, here's the question. What is Luffy's power-up going to be? If this is not it.
Bagels.
I don't know if
Well,
that's
I
true.
mean,
I'm
when
going
he
to say no to
ratchets
that,
his
Molly.
fist up for like a real big punch, it does kind of look like a bagel.
That's fair.
Have you considered bagels?
It's a bagel with a bear claw inside.
Bagel
You know
claw.
what it's gonna be?
It's a bagel
gonna be
claw.
You know what? He's
I
looking at
hate that we do this.
he's looking at Kaido and he's saying, you're asking for everything bagel, my man. And he says, what's an everything bagel? And then he lets him have it. And they have really nice.
What's an
brunch
everything
together.
bagel?
And-
Everything.
And then
Yes.
Zoro's like, "Did you mean knuckle sandwich?" And Luffy's like, "Oh."
You know what?
Do you mean
That makes
knuckle
more sense.
bagel?
Al and I are on a different level today. But we are
Apparently,
still
Kate and I are
communicating
too.
somehow.
We're
Yeah,
sharing
yeah,
the
yeah.
host brain
Mark-
cell.
Yeah, Mark and I, this is where I say Mark and I are a lot more similar than I think the audience gives us credit for.
That's why we yell at each other, because
hosting
we see
abilities.
each other in each
It's-
other.
Yeah, it's just like, shut up.
Get out of
It's
my
like, okay,
brain.
all right. How dare you speak
But
to me?
like to answer your question, it's always hard to predict. It's always hard to predict with Luffy because like
you don't
well, not
say.
for you. It seems to be really easy for you, but we never know. We truly never know what's going on in Luffy's head, and then stuff happens, and he goes, "Oh, that feels fun," and then he does it like truly. So, like Gear Second, nobody thought. If somebody predicted that's like, oh sure, Luffy's gonna have a power up, and that was it. Like, is Luffy's gonna keep getting stronger until the end of the show? Like, because the odds are gonna get larger and larger and larger
yes,
and larger.
comma,
What's the
but.
but?
The but is that we've had something teased fairly recently. Molly, would you like to say that louder for the rest of the class?
No.
I'm gonna get Molly
Did you
in
bring it up
trouble.
for the rest of the class?
Did you bring it up?
Before Kane got in the record room, Al said but, and I said, Al, you can't say that. And then you said but, and I whispered, Al, she said but. And
I'm
sorry
thinking
for
of
everyone
the
for
Tommy Lee
derailing.
Jones Japanese commercial where he throws the chalk straight at the student, but it's Kaden at Molly.
Kind of at this point. That's where we are.
Yeah, dude. But also we're at an Applebee's.
That's, you know what? We are at an
Please, no.
Applebee's.
No,
It's
we're
true.
not. We're no more Applebee's. We're not at
Corner booth.
Applebee's. Let's go to the Chili's.
I'm waiting for a refill.
Okay,
Okay.
We can see the chilies
that's
through the window.
fine. That's fine then, Molly. If we're waiting for a refill, that's fine.
Okay.
So here's the question then. I'll ask it again.
I mean,
Okay.
I'll ask it again.
Okay.
What is, if not this, Luffy's actual power-up?
Well, wait, so what is this in your question?
This is his ability, his mastery of hockey.
Okay.
I would call it a mastery of hockey.
You go ahead, Al.
I can probably tell you where my head was at when I read this. I was thinking Luffy is a rubber man.
He
And
definitely is.
he, as we all know at this point,
What?
if you don't, please go back and listen to episode 0 and then the rest of it, and then
it'll
get
make
back
sense.
to here. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch everything in One Piece. Come back here. Everything makes sense.
It's like in all of these cases where these people have been using their hockey to attack things outside of their body and outside of their weapons, like none of them have. It seems to be a limited distance, but my man Luffy can stretch. Can he stretch his like hockey into projections that are like longer distance than other
That'd
people?
be cool.
Like is that
I actually hadn't
thinking
thought
that
about
it
that like
might-
that before.
He might be able to manipulate hockey in a way that other people can't because of his rubbery nature.
That's pretty rad. I had not thought about that at all.
Is actually enforce the nature of his devil fruit onto the hockey instead of other way around.
Yeah. Huh.
It's like he could flick someone's nose from like a mile away. It's like what he could do.
That's pretty cool.
I was in the thought of
Ooh.
like when people power up, it usually goes bigger, 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 and then I've been thinking. I mean, since 1,000 Year Blood War came back, I've been thinking about Bleach a lot more again, and a lot of Ichigo's stuff was it got smaller, and so my thought when went around here for in terms of like what's Luffy's gonna do next, like Gear 4, he became huge and massive, and as he's sort of refining his use of hockey, I imagine his expression of that hockey, or at least the visual representation of that we see, would stay huge, and he would be more like not like smaller, like not chibi, but it would why did my brain just go to like Ansem at the end of Kingdom Hearts, like not necessarily
Which Kingdom Hearts
One.
and which Ansem?
I knew
Okay.
exactly what
Yeah.
part
Thank
was.
you.
but essentially Luffy's dark passenger.
Because there's a lot. Listen, for those uninitiated about Kingdom Hearts, there's a podcast for you out there.
It's so bad.
Don't.
I don't want to talk about the 16 Xehanorts again, please. Anyway,
Coward.
But that was my thought. Was Luffy sort of tightens up, and the power is still there, and the aura is still there. Maybe there's like a physical representation of the Conqueror's hockey, a little bit more so than just little more so than just him getting bigger. Because how big can he get? You know.
You can get pretty
I
big.
mean, but how much bigger?
He's a
can
rubber
he
man.
get?
He's a
I
rubber
was
man.
expecting like straight up, like a baggy situation. Like,
Okay.
just, you know what I mean?
Molly taking it a completely different direction. Okay.
Just going like he's like blows himself like a balloon, right?
Zoro, give me a potato sack.
Like we've seen, yeah. It's like, but it's just like, right? It's like because Buggy is always failing upwards. It's like, is this going to be an Usopp situation where, like, Buggy actually did it first, but it's like a false representation of somebody else doing that?
Buggy
for real?
is historically
Like,
the
he's
first
so-
person in One Piece to Gigantamax.
Forget about
But
their, a
with
giant race.
cardboard cutouts and string and duct tape and like
But yeah, it's like it's like he keeps getting bigger every time. What's stopping him from just being a giant?
He does keep
balloon?
getting bigger every time.
Like, what's stopping him from being a Macy's Day balloon? You know what I'm saying?
Kdin, that seemed to spark something in your brain.
Yeah, I'll be real. I honestly didn't think of that either way because I'll be real. I'm reading everything very literally right now. Because I don't think Oda wants to like keep any secrets at this point. It's like I'm going to be very blunt about what's going to happen. If you actually read the thing and you know that Kuma is the king of a kingdom,
Still waiting to be proven right about that.
yeah, sure, waiting for that one.
You never know. Never know.
Yeah, it may pay off someday.
Someday.
We'll never know. Never know.
Spike the camera, look everybody
jokes
dead
on
in the
you. I
eyes.
can't read.
I've just been
Trust
really
me.
good guessing for 1,087 chapters.
So let's take a look at everything very literally. I really do, however, I do very much love what everybody's putting at the table here. I think everybody's doing some really cool honestly bonkers banana nonsense with what you put on the table. I'm thinking a little bit more literally. I think that when Who's just like gonna be awkward, right? It's like, what's gonna be awkward? What are you talking about? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about, you freaking weirdo. And I think the weird thing is that, like, I think my theory is going to be proven correct. I think I've been right all along. I think that the government, shockingly, has lied to you. It's been lying to you the whole time.
Yes.
Government
Shot
lied to
Pikachu
you.
face.
The government said, hey, guess what? This is the Gumu Gumu no Mi. And everybody looks at each other and they're just like, no, it's not. It's like, it's the Gumu Gumu no Mi.
No, you.
It's like,
Not
okay,
we,
all right,
me.
all right, all right.
So you kill the first guy that objects, and then ask the question again. If anyone objects, kill the next.
But I mean,
Exactly. That's
ask the
exactly
question
where
again.
we're at
there's
this point.
like
We're exactly
there's pure
there.
logic in that, because Oda introduced us to the fact early on that there was a book that was available to a certain class that detailed the known devil fruits. And I mean, we're seeing it today that the government can control like print, and like we don't know who printed that book. We don't know if it was an independent science study or whatever.
And how Sanji knows about it and
we
had
know
seen it.
one absolute loser that has read.
But that was actually something that never came up in Whole Cake, or I think it did. Maybe it did. Okay,
No, it did.
But
It did.
or rather,
Don't worry, we talked about that stupid
no. But
thing.
like us talking
very
about it
stupid
and
and
you
made me-
calling it of. I bet Sanji has a book because he's a part of a certain class, which was entirely true. But I think
You're
I
welcome.
think that theory holds water of the government lying to us. So why would we, because we know that there was a military convoy that was interrupted to a point where CP9 was involved in maintaining safety and they failed. Like this is no matter what the end result ends up being, this is a devil fruit of high importance.
Molly
happened?
Molly thought that was very funny.
No, I'm sorry. I'm just listening to all of you guys. And in the back of my head is like this out of context. Like if I didn't have my headphones on and my window was open and my neighbor walked by and could hear us, like I can hear the like X-Files theme playing in the background.
Have you listened to this show?
To us. No, I know, but it's just, like,
I
out of
hope you're not
context.
playing it over your speakers.
I just
This is
like,
all I have to say.
I feel like we're all wearing like tinfoil hats right
Are we?
You're
Are we
not, Molly. The government's listening to you.
Tri-corner tinfoil hat.
It's too hot, you guys. Like I don't want to be a big potato.
The tinfoil hat will protect you from the sun's rays that is put out there
No.
by the government.
No, listen, I know Garp. And he
No,
would
And
never,
don't rust
No.
with seawater.
no,
Molly just
he-
doesn't want to wear the hat, guys. That's what I'm hearing.
I
I'll
thought we
wear
were
it
a
on my
family.
70-degree day. Okay, all right. If we're
Put
gonna
the
go,
stupid hat
Put on
on,
the hat,
Molly.
Molly.
Put the stupid hat on, Molly.
Puts on hat. Why is it spicy?
Why is it spicy?
I love that meme.
Mark it down.
Oh,
no.
was that? I
just-
thank you.
Yeah, I got you, boy. Don't worry.
I just.
Your girl got you.
I don't know. I love.
You don't know?
I love this podcast. I love the Wild Tears Corner.
Listen, guys, all
this
of you,
podcast.
just us and
I love
this
guys.
Applebee's.
Oh,
They've been trying to close for half an hour, but we're talking about the government. You know,
They're working.
Wearing our family tinfoil hats.
I'm looking at Beverly.
I mean,
I can see that I can see that we're changing her mind.
Oh,
a
I
little
can't
bit.
believe Molly is a white girl
Beverly.
waste.
Beverly, you're gonna get a
I'm
big tip
not,
tonight.
Yeah,
Thank
don't worry about it.
you.
Anyway, about the government lying to you.
Yeah, let's talk about that a
Okay.
little bit more, Molly.
Tell us about the government line.
Garp would never
All
lie
right.
to me.
So we know
not
the government had.
intentionally.
Okay, Molly, would you like to?
I'm just saying, Garp would never lie to me. like not intentional.
Molly Garp has absolutely already lied to us.
Garp is the only one not lying to us.
He's
the very
lied.
first time we meet
He's
Garp,
lied to you, but it's only to protect you. Actually, to protect you, not to harm you like the rest of the
very
government.
first time we meet Garp, he drops like 3 really intense
That's fair.
spoiler bombs, and his go-to is, "Oh yeah,
Oops.
just forget I said that." And it's like,
Oops,
bro,
all dropsies.
Yeah,
I bet
just
he's
saying,
not even eating rice crackers.
not intentionally. They're actually those. Oh no, those are the same things.
No, it's rice cracker. It seems like it looks like it's the rice crackers, but you know what it actually is? It's like a styrofoam disc.
No, it's pancakes
for use for packing.
It's
pancakes.
the imitation cookies that Cookie Monster eats.
And and he's basically waiting for somebody to call him out. And it's like, you're gonna be the true next version of me once somebody is bold enough to call me out for eating
What is this? The
styrofoam discs.
What is this?
It's not the Santa Claus, because then they'd have to kill him.
You got to look at the fine
And I
print
don't
on his
think Molly
mustache.
could take that.
No. I don't know about that. All right.
He sees me when I'm sleeping.
And when you are awake.
Oh my god.
And he knows if you've been
Oh my
bad or
God.
good. So be good.
For goodness sake.
I want
tired.
Kobe to say Garp-san, for goodness sake. So yeah, the government
What else we got?
government sucks.
So the government's been lying about. So the government's been lying to you this entire time.
What?
You picking up with this? So we know that the government's been lying to us. Shocker. And I know that we've been saying that for the last 15 minutes.
Well,
in several different ways.
Several dozen episodes also.
Yeah, but it's specifically about this. And I think that the whole point is that they've removed the collective knowledge of what devil fruits are out there, how many of them exist, and so on and so on and so forth. So they're just let's just say that the Gumu Gumu no Mi is
The
this
Gumu Gumu
one.
no Mi is this one.
And cool. So here's one of the things that tipped me off to what I think is about to happen. They had this whole thing, and then the next big part of the fight scene thing with Luffy is he's doing his I believe his Jet Hawk thing, right? Where he's doing he does the punch and everything's on fire, which is one part that keeps happening, and it does
rock like ROC, like the Gear 4 version of Jet Hawk is like Jet Rock,
yes.
Which is also just the name of a band I saw at like a local club in high school.
I'm gonna rock. Anyway, thank you. So
I didn't mean it.
sorry, that was really funny.
I heard you taking
I actually really appreciated that one. Anywho, God, you
Did I
you
really
derailed me
derail?
with funny.
So something Luffy with a big old punch that has fire on
Right.
it.
So the big old punch that has fire on it has the exact same swirls as the Gumu Gumu no Mi.
That's fair.
I don't know if you guys noticed that, but take a look at the Gumu Gumu no Mi. Look it up. Open it right now.
No, I did. I got my own thing about that.
Okay, well, all right. God.
I mean, one would also say, like,
one would say a lot of stuff, but what
there's
would you
also
say?
there are similar swirlies on the Maramara no Mi. And
what is that? No. Pause. You're exactly where I need you to be. What is that?
It's Ace's fruit / Sabo's fruit.
Right.
But I was also going to say the Yami Yami no Mi. And the Hie Hie no Mi.
I think devil fruit just have little swirlies.
It's the aesthetic
but those
of the devil
specific thing. It's that specific swirl. It's very important.
Go on.
Okay.
Go on.
So what you do is you have a childhood Sanji and a fruit, and you just mash his eyebrow into the fruit over and over and over again.
So that you bring up a very interesting point, Al. Truly, you bring up a very interesting point. Is people think that because God, what's that a-hole's name? Sanji's dad, whatever. Judge.
Oh, Judge.
Yeah,
Mr. Sanji's dad.
Mr. Asshole
Mr.
Judge
Judgy.
Sanji's dad. There's a D in there as
Vince
well. Like the reason, not
Yeah,
that
but
one.
not
Yes,
the
thank
way
you,
he
Molly. The one that, the reason why all of his kids have swirly eyebrows is because of all of the experimentation he did on them relating to like trying to genetically alter them with devil fruit stuff. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
This is the thing I mentioned like 2 minutes ago. This is the theory about this
Go on.
that I have.
All right. Go on.
It's just, I think it's likely. I think it's likely that like whatever. I mean, we've literally the second half of this entire like story starts with. I mean, after Fishman, but like. So like the kicking off this arc rather in Punk Hazard is that we know for sure people have been experimenting. We know for sure they've been experimenting on devil fruit and that it's been going for a while, like based on what we learned in Whole Cake. And it's like
It's a whole cake.
it's a whole cake, dude. And it's like not necessarily successful, but I mean, I guess successful enough that like the kids survived the experimentation. You know what I mean? Like maybe it's not the exact result they were looking for, but they survived enough. And like that has been my theory specifically about those stupid eyebrows for so long. It's just like it's not unlikely that they experimented with devil fruit because of what we know during like Punk Hazard and like the evidence that we're seeing in this arc as well. And I think
I
it's
would
very
say
likely.
similar to how we've been seeing more devil fruit users like awaken and reach that second tier or that top tier of use of
That
an
unreachable
height.
height, you would say.
The tippy tier.
the drug-addled height of Chopper using rumble balls. Like I wonder if whatever they did, we talk about.
I will cure every disease and do every drug.
Med students, am I right?
Yo.
But we talk about Sanji too much. But I think that's what happened to happened to
do.
him, where he was synthesized with something that is like really banal and small, and once that awakens,
Banal.
really banal. It's going to like.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It is banal.
Really, really
it's
banal.
not
and
banal. It's
banal.
banal.
It's banal. Oh, it's
It's banal.
Goodbye.
I'm
gonna fight you.
serious. This might be the name. This might be the name. This might be the name of the episode. It's banal.
Do you spell it like B-A-N?
B anal. It's the letter B and then anal. It's banal. I hate to ruin your life right now. It's banal.
Ooh, they do say banal on Google.
it says banal for me.
What are you in
Banal.
France?
I mean, kind of. Hey,
Banal.
regardless.
No, he's in Florida.
Close enough. To
French
end
is
this
better.
conversation,
Please God.
it's what the hell? Now we're all losing our threads. But Zoro and Sanji have another level that they're gonna hit. Like, and Sanji's is specifically tied to all of the genetic engineering that Judge did on him.
And that stupid
But
invisible
and I
suit.
think people are gonna see that as that's the thing. But I think there's gonna be something even more.
No,
so.
that's the
Yeah.
MacGuffin.
That's the stopgap.
That's the thing that's just like this is I'll be real, this is people getting stuff. Like everybody else has leveled up, but our three big ones have not. And I do say three big ones, which would be Sanji, Zoro, and Luffy. Zoro's got a new sword, but he hasn't mastered it yet. The mastery is the level up. Sanji sucks. I really don't have anything else to say about Sanji. I'm going to stop talking about Sanji, but I do think that the suit is the thingy and not the level up. Because God, that's stupid. It's actually not. I just don't. It's stupid. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't like it.
Okay, we're done talking about Sanji, right?
Like it. Thank God.
Hooray.
In the garbage.
In the garbage.
Hey.
With Molly, sorry.
Oh.
Anything with
real
GARP
quick.
branding,
Say
she's in.
that.
Yeah.
I'm
A
listening.
garbage can you say?
Kdin, even where we are at time of recording in terms of like completely caught up, there's still so much stuff about devil fruits that we have no idea.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
There's
go ahead.
Well, I know.
there's tons of setup that we still have not. Like, I don't even think we're within like 10, 20 chapters of having it paid off yet. Like, this will be the longest saga. I'm almost positive.
Technically,
I love that you're afraid of that.
yeah.
I am.
Yeah,
I
the
am
final
afraid.
saga will probably be the longest. And in terms of where we are now, literally this most recent chapter paid something off that happened that we covered on the show a couple months ago. Which is
But that is one thing of how many.
and like I even
How many
like
things?
when we came back I was like, "Oh, we're still talking about this, are we?" And we still don't know what's happening in all of the other sections of the story. It's just wild. Like we don't even know if the current like mini arc is done. It might be soon, maybe. Who knows? And yet, I mean, we don't know. We're finally
We can't.
We can't. We don't know.
We're finally going to be
Well,
the
I
next
could.
episode of Port Predictions is literally just going to be us screaming and banging our heads at the wall because now you're going to know. You'll know. You'll know.
Cool.
Realize that we all don't know collectively.
So then I'll just say it because you either all already know
To
or
be
you don't know, and then you can say I
be
don't know.
specific?
And it's like
Can you
we
be
don't know yet.
okay.
Yeah, I can be specific. So let's go back to the beginning and let's take this 5-second plot thread.
Okay, let's go
that
back
I've
to the
stretched
beginning.
into
Molly,
an
make your
hour,
drink order
hour
again.
long.
Okay,
God.
thank you.
No,
Beverly,
stop.
No, sit down. No
Beverly, I've
no
been
coffee
waiting.
dosaritas
One,
for
please.
anybody.
Where's my refill?
One
Luffy's
piece.
in a barrel. Luffy says, "I want to be king of the
Alvida
pirates."
shows
Oh
up.
God, that's too far back.
Man.
Too far back. Too far back. Too far back. 40 minutes
Hey, how
ago,
about
not
that
an hour
Netflix
ago.
series,
40
though?
minutes ago.
Soon.
Well, no, like
Next
by the
month.
time this comes out,
Okay.
it will already have released.
It'll be
Tomorrow.
over.
We'll see.
We'll see.
There's like what, 6 episodes, 7 episodes? It'll get canceled. Don't worry. It will. It's Netflix. They're gonna cancel
Netflix is
everything.
gonna
They're so-
Netflix.
By the time the writer's strike and the actor's strike is over, all of those kids will be 30.
So we're jumping straight to time skip.
I love that for them. Oh my god, they're gonna be in their granny era. I'm so happy for this.
Hey, Kdin, what was the question before we went back and talked to Beverly about about Molly getting another
The
cocktail?
question
What are you
is
drinking, Molly?
it's not even a question. Well, the real question is why did Who's Who say this, and for what reason?
an
Specifically, in this case,
Because he's a chump.
I thought that's what I thought Al was gonna say. Kdin,
This guy's a
we're sharing
chode.
more than the brain cell today. This is too much.
We've got too much going
Yeah.
on right now.
We're sharing drinks.
God, please stop. Stop sharing drink. We're sharing drinks. Anyway, kill me.
I like getting to remind Kdin every like arc or saga or so what it's like
No sleep.
to be like I will help. I'm trying to help. Yeah.
Are you? I feel like I'm being punished for something.
So
No.
what? So this is probably episode like total, including all of our like numbered episodes and non-numbered episodes. We're probably past 50 at this point. Kane, this is your fourth
God, I hope
episode.
so.
Well, okay, you've hosted a couple of the numbered episodes too. This is like 7 for you. How you doing?
Okay. I'm just gonna drop it then. I'm just gonna put it in there.
I'm just
put
gonna
this there.
drop
Oh
it.
my god.
Leaves
She
the
gonna
chat.
She gonna go full game show on us?
I'm just gonna drop it here then. Who's
Who your
Who
points
specifically said about the Gomu Gomu no Mi, speaking to Jinbei about the Sun Pirates, speaking of awkwardness, speaking of the weirdness and the isn't that funny-ness of everything, because Luffy's devil fruit is not, and I'm gonna say this for the 1,000th time. I feel like I've been saying this for 50 episodes now. It's not the Gomu Gomu no Mi. It's something else. With the level of transformation and fluidity of everything, the specific markings and the fact that somehow fire has been a part of Luffy's story since the beginning, specifically tying into his brothers, I think that there is in no uncertain terms any way that Luffy is not having some sort of devil fruit revolving around the sun god Nika, which is why when Husu said, "Isn't it going to be weird?" Is because, hey, your boss is probably the sun god Nika. And he knows that because it was his devil fruit to guard, and he sucks at his job. Sucks to suck, loser. So I think that if not by the end of this arc, and it's very possible because now we're going up against technically two of the big four. The other two are not necessarily a big deal right now. Well, there's a lot. There's like Buggy doesn't count.
Lets you fight two emperors.
Yeah, Buggy doesn't count for anything. Buggy doesn't count for anything. I'm sorry,
What?
Buggy boys. He doesn't count for anything. Shanks is not a problem.
Unless...
And Blackbeard is endgame territory. Blackbeard's endgame territory. So there's two. One of these two is going down. It's not going to be Big Mom.
It's not like the other.
It's going to be Kaido.
Unless.
And as much as I would really like Yamato to be the one to beat Kaido for a lot of personal reasons, because of the whole like symbolism of like, I'm going to beat up my own dad. It's like, oh God, I wish it was me.
Justice.
I think Luffy is going to, if not fully evolve devil fruit nonsense, he's going to tap into something.
Luffy's
going to tap into something, and Kaido's going to be like, crap. Because we've been seeing a lot of transformation. My boy Momonosuke has a big adult body now, and I feel so bad for him. He threw away his childhood. My son.
Boy.
So that's my thought. I think that it's going to be something. And I think that it's going to be such a drastic thing that Luffy, after any big moment with like Gear 2, Gear 3, and so on and so forth, each one of these things, like after he does a thing, he's just like, man, I'm tired. I still like mini baby chibi Luffy the best though.
That's why I didn't want to
3.
say like when he powers up he's gonna get super tiny, because it would be way too silly to have little tiny baby Luffy be like a permanent and just have like a big
Gear 2 is where Gear 2 is just he gets tired. Gear 3 he turns into baby. Gear 4 he just kind of like I guess deflates a little bit.
He dies for 10 minutes.
Well, we like literally got baby old man Chopper when like he fizzled
Grandpa
down.
Baby Chopper?
And
It's true.
Grandma
like
baby
seeing
Luffy.
Chopper's evolution with the Rumble Balls has been a big thing for Kdin. Of like, hold on,
I'm so
things
I'm
can
so
change.
proud of him.
So like, I think Chopper is a
Things can change.
good thing to look at when it comes to.
Chopper is a good
I mean,
thing. This is
literally
why I
and
think that his
metaphysically.
well, the thing is like this is again why I think that Gomu Gomu no Mi isn't a paramecia. I think it's a Zoan.
And so going along with you just said a lot. So let me
I've said it like twice.
But let me,
at
going
least.
along with what you said.
How more how arcs and sagas. Marks and
Going
sagas.
along with Marks and Algas. Salgas. Two things.
Sal.
Evil twin brother. It would be very basic storytelling to have light against dark in a very literal sense. So that holds water. And we have seen legendary Zoans, and we have seen god-based Zoans in Sengoku.
Yes.
So the runway is there. It absolutely set up for something like this.
Yeah, we've got what? Sengoku and
Kaido's legendary, Marco's
Marco.
legendary.
Marco.
Marco was the first legendary, and then Sengoku was the second legendary.
Yamato?
We have a bunch of ancient Zoans, mythical Zoans also.
Yamato is mythical,
mythical.
but I don't know if Kden's supposed to know that yet.
Well,
Kdin is supposed to know that because they already like.
Did they name drop it?
They name dropped it, and they also said that Kaido was just like, you weren't supposed to eat that.
It's a going theme. It's an ongoing theme.
I love that Luffy and Yamato were like, this guy's pissing me off. You know what'd be really funny right now? I just eat his snacks.
I need these snacks.
But that's to say, unlike anybody who eats a devil fruit, those hold water.
Well,
Unlike them.
Shut him up. Somebody stop him.
Gotta go.
Hey, Beverly, can we have the check, please? We're gonna go to Chili's.
Wow.
What?
We are gonna go to Chili's.
I know. I want those
Chili's.
Southwest
You
egg
better
rolls.
go
Those
to
are pretty
Chili's.
good.
Why do you guys
They're
know
pretty
the
good.
Chili's menu so
What do you mean?
well?
Why do you not know the Chili's menu? Why do you know the Applebee's menu?
I don't know the Applebee's menu. I call them appetizers.
They are appetizers.
Are they really?
Yeah, Molly's just been pointing at the menu the whole time.
You guys think I can read?
Spoiler alert. 50 episodes in, none of us can actually read.
That's why I like the manga. Because
Great
they're just
pictures.
images.
I love that Molly. I love the way Molly said that, very Midwestern. The manga.
The manga.
No,
The mango juice.
I'm gonna beg you.
You
to
can't
stop
spell
that
manga
right
without
now.
Started
G-man.
it.
G stands for
Started
grandpa.
this. I wouldn't know, would I?
Yeah, you would.
No, I can't read.
RPG Grandpa.
So Molly dies. I didn't mean that. Oh, God.
That really got
Kate,
me.
I'm so happy that you're also
F.
picking up on what I'm putting down.
Yeah, I got you.
So
I'm here.
there's actually a theory that
You gotta tell me
I
what font that is,
have.
though.
Well, I mean, do whatever. Everybody has their own
Yeah,
style.
no, it's fine, but like it's important to me.
That needs to
specifically.
fit. We need to have the same graphical language. But unless you want to talk more about this, I actually do have another theory. I have a theory.
Oh.
You have
I'm
a
surprised
theory.
you haven't picked up on.
Well, I want to just put it there that I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't know if a full transformation is going to happen in this arc and saga. It could happen, but I think that it's going to basically, if that does happen to that level, it's going to be such a double-edged sword that Luffy's basically going to turn himself into like, I don't know what's worse than like turning himself into the little chibi thing where he can't do anything for a while. Like, I don't know, you guys, I hate the Futurama myself, but you know the little mummy that Professor Farnsworth gives to Fry and Bender
Teriyaki flavor.
yeah, it's like, yeah, this is like that's Luffy. He's both tiny and like sun dried. He's like a sun dried tomato.
That's
of a
a good point too. Of like, so many things have happened physically to Luffy where people are going to be like, "You're going to die. This is going to shorten your life." Like,
this is bad. Like, I don't know if this is gonna be like, oh, it's really cool, which it probably is gonna be really cool, if it happens. But
I've been saying this the whole time.
Molly, I'm pretty
worried.
sure you've been picking at the appetizers the whole time.
No, I mean, not this episode, but the entire podcast. Like,
Yeah.
in our history, I have been saying I am terrified for Luffy. He is speedrunning his entire life. And that's
Me too.
terrifying.
And each of his level ups involve doing something like weird with his body. Like the gear second, he's forcing his
Me
blood
too.
to move faster.
Kaden, what gear are you on?
I'm in gear 4 at this
Yo.
point. I'm pretty dangerous.
powerful
It's pretty
stuff.
dangerous.
Well, I'm Division 4. So.
Molly, you're a Marine?
No, white
All I'm
beard.
saying is that gear two is literally
Yeah.
hypertension.
Ooh,
He gives himself
that made my
hypertension.
shoulders hurt. Yeah.
Me too.
But so just going along with what Kdin said, whatever the next level is, I would like to hope that I'm also like reading through what manga chapter does that happen? I'll say
Manga.
it however the good goddamn I want.
Stop
No.
being Midwestern.
I will never be. I will never not be.
Stop it.
But
Mr. France over
no.
here. Banal.
Paris,
Florida. I mean, we have a Hollywood. I wouldn't be surprised. I would like to hope that
and it's just as
if
terrible.
this is an unlocking of a next step, if this is an awakening, that hopefully that means that the strain on his body would actually go down instead of go up, because like similar to what I mean about like him getting sort of more svelte and like using a bigger, like having it be represented but not present. Hopefully, like he would figure out a way to be at this level of power without having to max all of his levels. That's my hope.
Man, I hope he's alive. I hope he's gonna live. I really would be disappointed. It would suck. It would be listen. It would be thematic. It would be thematic, but I'd be disappointed if Luffy literally took a page out of Roger's book and was just like, "I'm king of the dead."
It wasn't that.
Dude, we don't know.
It was a year. It was like a year and a half, 2 years, maybe. That's not a long time to be king of the pirates. That's king of the
most
oopsie.
free man on the sea. Yeah,
And then die.
I do need
to be fair, he was the most free man on the sea, technically, but actually he had to go into hiding, impregnate a lady, hide the lady had to go into hiding, hide the baby, then die afterwards, and then Ace came out, and then he died. They're all dead. It's not a good year. It was not a good year for anybody involved.
So that his legacy could also die.
I do need it to be said, we're all aware, Oda has drawn the Straw Hats in various stages of older parts of their life and has said, I don't know what the future of One Piece is going to be. So that could be the only time we see them at those stages. Or it could just be him being like, yeah, I got to really make them hot.
Well, he draws them two ways. Later. He draws them succeeding and them failing, which is very funny.
Did Molly commission these? Hi, could I get old character 2 ways, please?
With extra ice. Thank you. Thanks, Beverly.
He literally drew Ace for no reason. Was like, man, if that guy lived, here's how hot he would be at 40.
Ace for no reason is going to be the name of this podcast.
He's still dead.
Guess who's still dead?
I'm sorry, Molly.
Mark, did you say what you're...
No, because I wanted Kdin to finish her thought first before we moved on to that. Okay.
Kdin finished.
So, my thought, and something that is still to this day, still to modern... I say modern as if Kdin's not like a year out, less than a year out. Contemporary One Piece. Thank you. Wow. You. Hey, make sure your monocle doesn't fall into your warm Dos Equis.
I'm 2 beer smart right now.
I'm 2 beers smart.
I think.
Holy crap!
And especially now that who's who is being a dumb. I think that Bink Sake is important. I think it's more than just. Right. I think it is literally similar to like spirituals back in early day America. I think it's something that has a deeper meaning than what it is. I think the lyrics. Go ahead.
Like an oral tradition,
sort of a thing where it's a way to identify what pirate crews or what sailors, where are you? Are you a part of this like? Are you like the legacy of whatever the Void Century is, the legacy of God Valley, the legacy of the initial deed, not Deja Vu, but the other one. I think that Bink's Sake, maybe even Bink or Binks or whoever this
Jar Jar or the one from
whoever possesses the sake
from Hocus Pocus.
From
the cat.
Hocus
I think the cat from Hocus Pocus.
Okay, cool.
Whoever
the immortal cat.
I think Bink/Binks/whatever is Joy Boy's name. And it's something that people don't, that only the people that were there and only the people that were a part of his crew or like whatever. I think that song is specifically about Joy Boy.
Do you think that's like one of the only things that survived?
Absolutely. Music and culture is one of those things that like survive. I mean, just look at Fallout.
He's
like,
right.
Look at Fallout and see like, oh, this is stuff from way back when, but now this is our entire life. But I legitimate, especially now that, and I've been thinking this ever since the flashback. And Kdin, part of the reason why I wanted you to watch those episodes was so that you knew and saw, even though we hear about it from Shanks, that they sang Bing Sake again. Because similar to what Who's Who did of being like, hey, here's a lore dump, them reminding more so than just being like,
Who's
he
Who
took a
big
big old
dump.
dumper. A big wet cat dump.
Stop it.
Cats 2019. But I think in a similar vein,
Stop.
that was also like
Probably broke a vein.
Pots of blood vessel, reminding us that Bing
I'm about
Sake
to.
is important and that it means something, because it's from before the time of Gold Roger. It's from Brooks' crew and maybe even earlier. So that means,
Well, the thing is it has to be from earlier than Brooks' crew because everybody there knew it as a folk song.
it's folk song. There you go. That's been my thought of like, oh, it was a nice thing to have when in Thriller Bark, when we shared this moment of Laboon's alive and I also know this song, and this is definitely a great pick for a musician for Luffy because this guy knows the song and it's such an important part of his story as well. And it's going to be something that's second nature. So it makes sense to me.
But it's also all right. I'm also
Let's
tacking
go.
things onto your conspiracy board here, Mark. It is
See, this is why I'm so happy. I'm so happy. This is the first time I get to sit back and be like, all right, I'm not the only crazy one here.
I want to jump after Al. Go ahead.
this song universally makes everyone feel good. Everybody loves that song.
He's right.
Like the One Piece world is dark. It is terrible. You are just as likely to just be born into enslavement as you are to be born into like military servitude. Like you are not going to have a good time for a lot of the time that you are here, but everybody loves Bing Sake. So like, what does that mean? What does it mean?
So here's a question for you then. Here's a question though, if there for you. Because of everything that's been going on and everything that's been happening, it's obvious that we haven't had Joy Boy was a part of that, like, whoops, let's just erase that part of history. We're just gonna oopsie daisy over that and then scrub it out. So we haven't seen Joy Boy in any real context. But we have seen legacies persist. And we have seen, if I'm not mistaken, we have specifically seen Kaido say, it's like, I thought you could have been Joy Boy. And it's like, but you're not. Do you think Luffy is Joy Boy?
What I've wondered, honestly, is
Joy Boy 2 Electric
essentially
Boogaloo?
like the world has this idea of who this person is supposed to be in the Second Coming, but what if it's different? What if it's like, you remind me of the Babe, but it's different? Like, what if he has qualities? Luffy has qualities, and similar to something you've said before, Joy Boy has to be a title, you know. So I imagine it. Maybe it's like maybe it's like All
Spirit
for One.
of what, like liberation or freedom
Yeah.
or something like that.
I'll say I think we've said it in a different theorist corner that like there's nothing that would be more disappointing to me than, you know, like Luffy having no agency over his life. Like he's just suddenly this guy. It's like that would be so dissatisfying.
And that's
to
why I
everything
want
that
him
we've
to be
seen.
something more. So he maintains the Luffy-ness, but can also be that thing that people can look at and go, I recognize that.
It's like even going down like Kdin's thread of like with the devil fruits, it's like something that I do want to know, but it's just like, how much do you think a devil fruit influences the user? Like, is it a strong will versus like weak will kind of thing?
Is it
like,
a D
I'm
will?
intensely
Yeah.
staring at Mark, seeing if he has a Tron
No,
joke
shut
to
up.
come out of this.
Oh.
No,
But like, if I could
God.
jump on to Mark's theory really fast, but like,
Do it.
I agree with Mark and I agree with Al And Mark has mentioned this before, but like I don't know if we've actually like gotten to like sit and talk about it. But like my theory, which we talked about like briefly in the previous podcast, of like they specifically don't tell us what Roger's dream is. We're assuming it was to be the Pirate King. We're assuming, but like they specifically cut out what he said, and then we find out from Yamato that, intentional or not, Luffy happened to say the exact same thing that Roger said, like without influencing each other in any way that we know of. And and so like because we don't know officially what that dream is, I think that the dream is to like throw the biggest party, right? Like it's just like just whatever, just throw the biggest party. Why not? That's crazy, and it's childish, and like like everyone's reacting to it would make sense to that. And going along with Mark's theory about being sake, I mean, like, what have we seen sake be used for in the show
and
already?
Another thing that I wanted to mention was the toast before Onigashima.
Right, and it's
the postponed toast.
We specifically see sake or alcohol be used in welcoming in nakama, specifically welcoming in like brothers, welcoming in family. Like to share a cup of sake with somebody is to, thus be bonded, like we saw it with Luffy and his brothers. We saw it with Whitebeard. We saw it with the Mugiwara. Like, it is a common thread. We saw it with the Grand Fleet. They forced Luffy to drink it, but like it happened. And so it's like going on that theory, right, of being sake being important, looking at the lyrics for being sake, there are a lot of similar themes in the show in itself.
Can I ask an important question?
Okay.
What is the difference in the lyrics between Binks sake and Binks's
that I don't have offhand, but if you give me a second, I can look at it. One second.
Okay.
Not a whole lot. I think that they just probably try to rhyme the last words.
Okay. Well, I think that's important because, well, let me drag this back a little bit. Localization is not the same thing as direct translation. And I feel like people don't quite understand that. Localization is a writing art form, and translation is literally dragging and dropping, which means that verbatim misses importance. But just because localization will localize, it's localizing it to make it make more sense for another area. So there are definitely going to be things that are lost in translation overall, both in localization and translation and all that stuff. So nothing's ever going to be perfectly one-to-one in anything. And this is where I say you respect the freaking people who do localization and translation efforts for anime, because they are doing it so freaking fast that it's not even funny. Just for subtitles, not even just talking about dubbing stuff, but just for the subtitles and then the dubbing stuff on top of it, it's all a science and an art form. But that does also mean that things aren't perfect in those things. And that goes for the manga, and that goes for the anime and all sorts of things. So what could possibly be misconstrued in that process is something that could be dissected and be like, are we missing anything in the localization? Because I'm sure the people who did the localization had no idea that this is going to be such a big thing, because Oda doesn't tell anybody anything about anything.
Funimation didn't even make it to Thriller Bark, and everybody was like, what the hell are they literally cut the Laboon episodes. So it's like, what's going to happen? But looking at the Viz Media translation versus the just direct English translation of the Japanese, it's very similar. Like, it's not exactly the same, but a lot of the same, like, it's definitely the same idea, the same thoughts, that like definitely it's like something where it's like English colloquializations of certain things.
Of course.
But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in terms of things that I'm saving for the next episode of Poor Predictions. You
bitch.
I can also just like leave the tail end of what I'm trying to get at for the next time as well, because we don't really know, but we might learn some stuff a little bit more or whatever along the way. But I think like what I was trying to get at, like looking at where I'm like leading in terms of like the biggest party, Sake, Binks' sake. That's like important. Like the fact that every victory as a group, the Mugiwara's pirates have is celebrated with a party. I just feel like there's a lot of correlation in that in terms of like delivering Binks' sake. Where could they possibly be delivering it to? Could it be the Forbidden Island that the government doesn't want you to know about? Like, could that be Mr. Binks's house? Is that Mr. Somebody's house? And like, why aren't we allowed to look at it?
Somebody's house.
Why aren't we allowed? Is it because it was like a big
Mr. Somebody's house?
Was that?
Can
like
I
a big
can I tell everybody just how much I love Molly sometimes?
All the time.
Because that means, like, listen to me. Can you imagine? Can we get an applause for Molly? Can we just?
For me? Oh my god! Thank you. Oh my god.
Molly is quite frankly accidentally the funniest person. Period.
What do you mean accidentally?
Molly, I don't think you intentionally say some of the stuff that you say. I know you do. Listen, anytime you go after it, it's intentional. Anytime you don't, it's not intentional. I know you bet that well, okay? And you did not tee at this one, but you could have, but you didn't. Okay?
Okay.
So I just wanted to say that was really funny, Molly.
Thank you. I don't know what you're picking apart at the moment.
See? Exactly. Anyway, continue, Molly. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, it's just I see a lot of correlation, and I'm building my own theory in my head as to like, I mean, because we don't know, but it's like I have my own theory about what happened 800 years ago. I don't know why it happened, but I have an idea of what possibly could have happened due to the clues that we're picking up along the way. But I can save that for. I mean, I can get in my whole conspiracy.
You mean your
for the
conspiracy
next
hole?
one, but.
I didn't mean for that to break you like that. Only a little bit.
I wish I had my webcam on so you could see the look of like defeat I had on my face before I started laughing.
Got her.
But yeah, I agree. I agree with what everyone's saying.
I have a part 2 to this, but it legitimately rests on an episode of the One Piece show that hasn't been released yet.
Our show or the real show? Oh, not the big show?
Not Paul White, the big show. No.
Okay.
Unless.
Just wanted to not shut up. Unless
He did do the dub for Oars.
You're not. What are you, the Onceler? Ship him with himself. Who cares?
Whoa! Heck, go F yourself, dude. We love it.
Hey, does anybody else have any other things that they got?
Yeah, I got one simple one. I don't think Yamato's going to be a crew member. They've been dropping hints that Yamato's going to join the crew with just like how much of a lot of this resonates with, and I think I might have said something along these lines, but I think it's more important that Yamato help rebuild Wano with Momonosuke. I think it's more important in this in the idea of Yamato saying, "I am Kozuki Oden," and then being just like, "Well, this is Kozuki Oden's son, and if I'm Kozuki Oden and I am going to carry that on, then I need to be able to take care of this child that is now in an adult's body. So I need to help this kid learn things.
Dude, I hope everybody
fast,
sticks around Momonosuke because an 8-year-old running a country.
I mean, it'd be better than what America is doing in the last forever since it started.
Skeleton.
But
I absolutely agree with you. Like, as much as I want,
I think it's important for Yamato's character
and for the country of Wano,
Arkansas, and for the country of Wano. I think it's important.
Here's the son of the person that has oppressed you, being like, "No, we're all going to work together for a brighter future."
Mm-hmm.
I think it means something. I think it means something more meaningful because Yamato is one of the few people who's actually read through Oden's journal and knows Oden's feelings and thoughts and desires and hopes and dreams.
The dream of what the country could have been.
Right. And the point is just like, yeah, you can open the borders and then, you can F off and just do whatever. but that doesn't mean that you're fulfilling Odin's goal of like really opening things up. To really open things up, you need to be there to nurture and care for the country that you love and help it grow away from its harmful and oppressive past. And I think that by being the son of the oppressor who has, you know, made a tremendous amount of issues rise up through Wano, I think it's a little bit of like a sign of good faith, a sign of honor, and a sign of like showing that, you know, just because where you came from does not dictate who you are.
Yeah.
And I think that's really important. I think it's a really important lesson to learn, period. And I think that this is a good opportunity to illustrate that quite literally on the page in One Piece.
That would be like potentially a way for Yamato to make amends for the mistakes of his father. Like that's a classic story. Like,
yeah, even though it's not even his mess to clean up, but you know,
the thing is I think Yamato loves Wano just as much as anybody who's, you know, that's their
waited
country.
20 years.
You know,
well,
it's just
as
like
far
this
as
is
like
for...
we know, that was Yamato's home for his entire life.
Well, yes, but also like it's like a good chunk of it was in prison, so he didn't get to explore it until like
Wano in its glory days, and he wants those to come back.
Yeah, he's only seen Wano in its glory days through Odin's journal, and that wasn't even the true glory days. That was just like good days, like because
God, it's so good. Cry
God,
again.
it was so nice.
Yeah,
cry, bitch.
We have our title.
All right, I'm crying.
But I think it's more important. I think it's more important that he stay around. So I think that's my last little theory, is that despite like really thinking Yamato is really cool and
so boy.
Honestly, I think that I'm adding Yamato to the big board of big moods, along with
board of big mood boys.
Yeah, along with Robin and Boa Hancock. I've got my first boy on the big mood board, which is Yamato.
Shout out to my boy.
That's my
check out
boy.
my boy, he him.
That's my boy.
That's my boy, he him.
You
My boy,
reminded me
he him,
of
dude.
another theory that I had in the sense of I looked through spoiler chat.
Is it a wild one?
Mark.
What?
Nothing.
What?
No.
Is that my boy?
Oh,
he him?
never mind. I just saw your message. It's gonna be a really quick one. It's gonna be a really quick one. I promise. I think by the time the battle is over, the Marines are gonna show up and be like, "All right, now that you've been occupied, we're gonna occupy you because of all of the." Well, not just that, but because they have the largest natural resource of sea prism stone.
Well, I just like, I mean, like to begin with, like they have constantly been like, well, we have no authority there, and like we're choosing not to be there. But it's like they're obviously there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and CP0 is just
you know what
hanging
I mean?
out
It's
for
like
a reason.
they're constantly being like, we have no authority there, and it's like
meddling.
The first thing they're gonna do, like when all of the powerhouses are gone, is to immediately swoop in and just be like, welcome to the world government. It's like, oh my god, so nice to see you. And it's like, who let you in, dude? Get out of here.
Wow, that's a lot of resources you have there.
Yeah, immediately. I mean, it's like, I don't know if we ever have this question answered, but like,
why no?
Oh, you know what? 2 second to why not?
Why no?
Here's a really quick theory that just popped up into my head. So Wano has
We got her.
the largest supply of sea
Wano.
prism, or
Mhm.
like, you know, like the sea
prism stone.
rock or whatever. Okay, yeah, sea prism. That we know of at least. And Kaido has been in power for X amount of years. Do you think like Iron Man style that Kaido cut a deal with the government and was like on the down low, like selling them sea prism because they use that for their ships, They use
I
that
think
for their
it's
hand
Holy
cups.
shit.
They use it for impel down. And it's like, I don't think they've ever said where it comes
just
from.
because they're the
And now I'm
largest
like,
natural resource of it doesn't mean that it's the only source of it.
But counterpoint, crime bosses make deals with the cops all the time.
Absolutely.
yeah,
But
exactly.
I just wanted
And
to say that
we've
other part
seen,
first.
We've seen.
Shout out to the 1920s.
Listen, that's totally valid of you. It's totally valid of you. But also in like Punk Hazard, we literally see Caesar do a freaking live stream with a bunch of like shady dealers and be like, check this crap out. And then be like, anybody interested?
We can see the difference
Who's giving me
because of
money?
Basil's like the nails, like the pure stone nails, as opposed to how anything that the military has is like stone that has some in it, and if you're strong enough, you can just bust out. So I imagine it's they want the pure stone, as opposed to we need to stop diluting this.
The Begruk.
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Molly. I'll stop now.
It's not pure. No, you're good. I mean, you've just cracked open a Breaking Bad AU is all.
AU.
Stop there. Is that enough theories? We're like almost 2 hours in. What do you
technically,
think?
we're only about an hour and a half in.
Yeah, we are almost.
If we don't
Almost
count
2
our
hours, like I
appetizing
said.
experience at Applebee's.
Molly has some
Yeah.
dark fan fiction to read.
AO3's
shut
back up
up,
now. I think
Al.
she has to go back. She has to
Get out of
refresh her
my head.
tabs to go back and read.
Shut up. Kane, don't look.
Don't look at me.
Don't look. You can see all my tabs.
Okay. I was like,
We can.
kid, it's been really quiet. What's happening?
Kane's
When
looking
she-
at my tabs, dude. I'm telling you.
When Molly says
stop.
tabs, she means that diet soda that old people like.
Get tabbed.
Oh my god. My aunt still drinks that. Watch yourself.
I will turn into that person
It's
someday.
not good, but it's not bad. It's no
Nothing's
Dr. Pepper.
Dr.
That's
Pepper.
all I'm saying. There's no 31 flavors
20
or whatever.
23.
There's a
It's just the one,
Baskin-Robbins.
and it's tab.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper's 23.
23?
Baskin Robbins is 31. And they're all bad.
Yeah, all right. I got a new theory. I got a
And
new
81 herbs and spices from the
Oh, I
Colonel.
want some fries.
Oh my god.
All right, we need to go.
We gotta
we gotta
get
get
out
out
of
of this
Applebee's,
Applebee's. Who wants to
dude.
leave
We gotta
tip?
get out of here.
I'm not. I'm the waitress.
Oh,
I still don't have a
I'll
job.
leave a tip. Here's a
Here's a
tip.
tip.
No, I'm kidding.
Beverly took off her name tag, and now it's just Kane.
Here's a... Whoa.
The whole
Is that
time?
what the B stands for?
Maybe.
I need to write
I
that down for the
knew
next episode and see if anybody remembers.
Oh my god. I won't.
I
Or will I?
won't.
No, Molly, you're drunk.
Confidently is.
No, sadly, I've sobered.
Kdin, this has been a
Well,
very
why?
sobering experience. Thank you.
I'm glad.
Take us home.
Man.
Yeah, we sweat everything out.
My
Look at your
keyboard is
children
absolutely
now.
dripping.
Um,
God,
Somebody-
the word
somebody in
dripping
the
has
episode.
cursed me
I
for the
have
last
been-
week.
I have been
Stop saying
asking.
dripping. No more drip. There's no more drip. Everybody stop saying dripping. Stop saying dripping. Stop saying
Well, if
sopping.
you-
Stop saying all of that.
Well,
no
if you
more
wanna see
dripping. No
some
more
pure
sopping.
drip,
Nothing.
You should go to Instagram.com/Yayo Talk Show, where we post dumb memes.
Or threads
Yeah.
on Yayo Talk Show.
Yeah, we
Or
put
the best memes.
or Tumblr.
Or Tumblr, Yayo Talk Show. Or Twitch,
Yeah.
where we stream Yayo Talk Show.
Why don't you just give us
Or
the
merch.
I've been
outro,
waiting,
Kaden,
please.
and we'll do it.
Just throw it
go.
at us.
Come on,
Just
Kaden. You
throw
know
us
what
the
you have
ball.
to do.
Pass me the rock.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Mark,
can find me all
Where
across
do they
the
find
internet
you
at
on the?
Mark B.
Wow, he's
Donica. Thank you.
Al, please speed run.
you can find me everywhere at Al McClellan Jr. ALMCCLELND. Good luck, JR. There's a JR in there. Bye.
Molly says it's a GR, but Molly, what's yours? Teehee.
Teehee, you can't find me everywhere. You can mostly find me on Tumblr, Molly Flynn, Molly K. Flynn, and we have a Yayo Talk Show Tumblr, and we have a Yayo Talk Show Twitch where we play games and it's fun. And we have a Yayo Talk Show YouTube, which is like where if you miss the Twitch, then you can watch it on the YouTube.
Yes, we can. We can do that.
If you're in an Applebee's and you hear this sound, it's because Mark's still there.
Mark's dead.
Hey, where they find you, Kdin?
They can find me at Kdin Jensen pretty much everywhere across the entire internet. That's Threads, that's Blue Sky, that's Tumblr. And you can also find me on TikTok. I haven't updated in a while. That's real Kdin Jensen. But most of the place, you can find me at Twitch. And you can join me there as I'm a VTuber there. And I do all sorts of stuff. And along with how most arcs and sagas end, are our theories right? Who knows? They probably do, but only some of them. And only if Oda has given some payoff to any of this just yet. Don't worry, we'll have more theories coming around the corner when I'll be all caught up next Theory Corner. So thank you for joining us in this Port Predictions. And
my God.
Please, let me get caught up to One Piece in one piece.
No.
You get it?
Ha 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 ha.
Check, please.